Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to this edition of the Halcyon Show. My name's Lorne, host of the show. How the hell are you doing this evening? I hope you're well. Long story short, as is always seems to be the case, me and Crash's episode went live yesterday. Wasn't as chaotic as I first feared it might be. We ended up having 3 guests on in the form of Crow, then Kingslee, and then Pagan. All of them came on and gave good account of themselves. Once again, because of the unscripted nature of the show, I wasn't able to control it in a way that I would normally like to control my interviews. So I hope they had fun. I hope you had watching it. However, once again, there were quite a number of things that I didn't touch on in the episode that I wanted to review with you guys regarding episode 3. When you see this, either you're joining me live or you're joining me after the fact. The other thing I'll say right from the jump is that if any, in fact, I'll pop this in the chat. If any battlers want to hop on and have their say, the Zoom call is running. Cool. There you go. Now everyone knows it's there. So yeah, if anyone sees this and they want to hop on and have their say, specifically the battlers in the tournament, they're welcome to hop on and have their say whenever they like. So that's all good. Right, so episode 3. In general, I thought this felt a little lighter on content, and I couldn't even really describe to you why. I think at certain points of the episode it kind of lost a little bit of momentum. I think the disjointed nature of the interview segment to the first battle, in so much as Nelly just tearing up the script and saying whatever the hell he wanted to say, mixed with Crow's quite straight delivery, if that makes sense, like very traditional, but you know what I mean, fairly it tracked basically. And then you've got Kick taking off his shoes in the second round. It made for a slightly disjointed viewing experience, and then you lead into a slightly more traditional battle, but with a newcomer versus a slightly more seasoned, if you want to call Pagan a newcomer, I suppose, but I wouldn't. He's had a few solid battles now, and he already comes across as fairly experienced. And then into what was the upset so far of all 3 episodes, which is Hulk versus Kingslee Thunder. There was a lot to pick apart, but I just felt like generally, like, it seemed to really whiz by. And I'm not saying that is necessarily a bad thing. Like, as someone, I wish I could show you my notes. I take notes as I'm watching these things. And I think that one of the things that I need to be more cognizant of is while I'm watching the show, I need to be watching it to enjoy it like a fan. I do pay attention to the comment section of the Prem video, as I'm sure all of you do if you watch it live. And it's fun. It's good. Everyone having their say, everyone having a bit of a laugh. However, my job on these is to review them. So I'm trying to pay attention to all the little things, trying to pay attention to certain talking points, things about the show, make sure it all sort of lines up and makes sense within the context of what they're trying to do. And one of the things that I brought it back to yesterday at the top of the show was, and I've been forgetting to do this, and if you're watching this now, the chances are this doesn't apply to you because you already watch Battle Rap, is the point of this tournament is to try and engage people that don't watch Battle Rap in the UK. And one of the things that I saw in the comment section that I knew immediately would happen, and it's still slightly disappointing when this happens, because it is a thing that Battle Rap has, which is, as inclusive as it can be remarkably ostracizing at times as well in the Kick Nelly promo. So I'm going to pull the notes I made up for that now, because look, I had fun at Kick Nelly's expense yesterday, as a lot of people did. You know, the £3,000 statement, it was funny, it was kind of bizarre. However, the thing I wanted to... I mentioned it in the show, but I really want to hammer this point home. Kick Nelly's a punk, man. And punks, they do things counterculturally by their very nature. They intuitively try and seek the thing that's going to piss you off, or that's going to annoy you, or the thing you just don't want to do. The idea that people would say, oh, this doesn't make sense, or this is dumb, whatever, you're kind of feeding into what Kick Nelly wants from you. So the fact that he's achieving his desired effect not only does 2 things. Number one, it illustrates to me that people still within the battle rap sphere, and the more traditional heads within the battle rap sphere, still don't get the notion of the tournament, really. They see it as an opportunity to a certain degree, but they also are forgetting the fact that the point of this is to try and appeal to different demographics and different people's watching habits from different spaces. Kick's different, man. Like, tell me, again, I made the point in the show yesterday, and it's no disrespect to Crow. Tell me anything Crow said in his interview. It's not beyond the realm of possibility for you to say, actually, I don't really remember a lot of what Crow said. However, juxtapose that with Kick Nelly, which I was like, with most of you, like trying to, what the fuck are you, what? And some of the things he says is, okay, weird, but it grabs your attention. And there's gonna be people, even if it's a relatively small number, that's gonna speak to, that don't watch battle rap, that might now cotton on to Kick because they want to follow him because he resonates with them. Like, they'll watch every episode he's in now. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good thing. In the same, and this is why I highlight it, because in the same vein as a Kick Nelly appeals to a certain demographic, that I don't get it. I think if you're going to cut a promo, you need to be deliberate, and you need to speak to the needs and whims of the audience. You need to try and be entertaining. You need to try and sum up things. Spirit speaks to a demographic I don't get. Like, I watch Spirit's performance, and I still don't quite understand why everyone's raving about him. I gave a good performance considering his experience level, but in the scheme of things, I stand by my judgment. McCoy was more direct. He said more things that applied to Spirit, and it doesn't help that apparently I'm not the only one that thinks this, because watch Hulk, who starred in this episode, do a reaction. I'm going to need to try and track down, because I think he's doing reactions on his Professor Banner channel, where he's just like, I'll bet you this kid has never held a gun in his life. And it's like, he's going to come up against that in the tournament. So things like that are going to come into play, in the sense of, yeah, I get it might speak to certain people at different times, but that's all good. Like, the fact that Spirit's going to garner a following, Kick's going to garner a following, Crow's going to garner a following, and they're all going to meet in the middle rooting for their guy. Like, that's a good thing. And I don't think it doesn't serve any purpose trying to denigrate people that fuck with it. That's all I'm saying. And I guess in the comment section, I'm going to keep an eye on that. If another battler comes up that, again, is a bit against I think Dynamic might fit into that too. We'll come to him as well, because I want to dive into him a little bit. No, whatever. I said what I said. But the notes I made on Kick Nelly. So, he's a punk in every sense of the word. He doesn't want to be liked or resonate with everyone. He wants to be counterculture within a subculture. But the question is, how does he apply that mantra to the tournament? Because he's still, as much as he might want to put his finger up the noses of people when he's talking and trying to annoy them and grate against them and, you know, get a reaction out and be provocative in the straight sense of being provocative like punks are, how is that going to translate with judges, though? Because he still needs to get wins. He needs to get judged rounds. He's going to need to get points on the board. I don't know. And can he do so in time to quite? He's now got 2 more opportunities in order to do that. Let me I might have deleted it already. If I've deleted it already, I'm gonna feel like a mug. In fact, yeah, we'll leave that for now. I pulled the tables. I don't have them any. I deleted them after the show yesterday with Crash, because I figured we were done, but then I woke up today and I was like, Bobby's pinging me. Okay, I know Bobby's not watching, but Bobby, I'll reply and I will give you my undivided attention after this. The other reason, by the way, we're not going to go for very long today is because Arsenal are playing at 8. I ain't missing Arsenal play because they're playing it on Amazon, so I can actually watch it live. Anyways, right, back to the show. But yeah, Kick Nelly, I get it in the sense of he's different, and booking a different act is only a benefit to the tournament because he's one less person to get lost in the noise of it. The trouble with Kick Nelly, though, from his perspective, is how do you sell that to judges who are perhaps more traditionally minded when it comes to battle rap? They want to judge what they can get, and they're judging it based on their own understanding of technicality and execution rather than the style that he's... Because again, I think you saw it in the battle. If I pull the notes from the battle, it's kind of hard to make notes on this one because, again, Kick Nelly... He was just kind of out there with it, whereas Crow was... I mean, my notes for Crow in round 1, for instance, name flips, kick flips, Rodney Mullen, pump to kick like a Reebok design, kick line at the scene like a Cinderella, like in Cinderella, stands corrected, orthopedic. It's all timed well, as in he finished his round like almost to the dot. It was clean as fuck. but there were no real moments where he really stamped his authority on the battle. But then you cut to Kick, and Kick had his moment where, like, he took his shoes off, and, like, it got a bit of a reaction. I don't get it. I didn't get it. It didn't. I think because he took it off to do it, like, I feel like you can't have the shoes in frame if you're gonna do that. Do the rest of the round without the shoes. You got to commit to the gimmick, brother. It references his job that ChatGPT took it, and then time was called on Kick. I think that was the only time in this episode where someone was cut off for time. Might have been another one. I'm not sure. But by the way, I like that. They've gone on to explain, by the way. And if you're watching, by the way, there's 3 of you watching now. Please, by all means, leave a comment. Let me know who's in the house. If it's Hadder Shrooms that's watching, I'm sorry you still can't leave a comment, dude. I feel you in spirit, though. What was I going to say? Oh, shit. What was I going to say? Oh, the cutoffs. I like that they've explained now that there's a 15-second grace period. That there's a bit more grace to let you finish a bit, but that they will still cut you off. But rather than just talking on this occasion, I figured what I'd do is I'd make the case for both of the guys, and then we'd rewatch the battle together, because that's one thing I haven't done on these watch-alongs. I think I've rewatched Bowski and Sam Esse. I don't know if I watched anyone else's. I can't remember. But anyways, because then it will help jog my memory about certain moments. And again, I find it fun to talk over battles. It's what I do. So anyways, right, let's cut to the reaction. You'll forgive me. I am going to cut through all of this stuff for now, because I'm only interested in the battles. So, let's... YouTube... Stop ruining your platform. The other thing as well, has anyone used Twitch? Twitch is so bad for adverts. I had no idea. I thought Twitch was not anywhere near. It might be worse than YouTube. Mad. Anyways, right, so.
Nelly, thank you for having me. Briggsy. Thank you. Bro. No manners whatsoever.
So I started off on a bad foot. Introduce yourself.
Hey, yo, it's Crow. Words of Crow on Instagram. Words_Crow on, like, Twitter.
Yeah,
What's up?
Yeah. Kakar.
Ka!
We get the coin toss off camera. Kick 1. Round 1 on Crow. Let's go.
Hey, yo. He said he don't like name flips. That's a shame, Nick, because motherfucker, I got a dozen. And if this bitch don't like kick flips, he about to find out that I'm Rodney Mullen. And I won't stop him coming till he's bored of it. This an ordered hit. I brought the infrared for kick like the Jordan 6. Because before you see me swallow pride, you'll eat shots tonight when I put the pump to kick like a Reebok design. But this bitch can get whichever fits him better. Either way, I'm leaving Kick lying at the scene today like Cinderella. Because he said I couldn't beat him with all name flips, and he can't accept it till I stamp his head in, wearing orthopedic sneakers. Now he stands corrected. You want the cash, forget it, because I'm up here rapping like the rent's past due, and you can't rap, so just show off your best dance moves. But how you gonna kick it with me when both your legs can't move? Because it's set in stone. I get Nick Kelly wearing dead man shoes. Because this motherfucker is not cut from the cloth, but he's as soft as a couple of socks. We'd have to see a brand new Kick if he wants a chance of upping his stock, so he's getting wrapped in a white sheet and stuffed in a box. That's one.
And that's what I mean. Clean, technical, good flow. I liked the theme of the round, but there was just something lacking. And that's the thing I came away from this battle watching, is that I get that it's a tournament, so not necessarily battlers that they would see themselves coming up against, or, you know, if they were charting their past or whatever. But this battle, I really felt no anima. It just felt a bit by the numbers from both guys, if that makes sense. It didn't feel like a proper contest that I want to beat this guy. Both of them were competing, but it felt a little bit, I don't know. It just felt like it was just lacking that little bit of bite. So, you know, just something. But anyways, it's Kick. Round 1 on Kick.
He's a liar. And I said, man, that's what man do. Dead man's shoes. I happen to be not wearing any. So it's about to be a murder, eh? Well.
See, now, Slester fucking loves that. And I think maybe it's the weirdness. Maybe it's just the fucking, just weird. I don't know. But again, anarchic.
I'm about to go Hitchcock on this bird today. The way you carry on, Crow's gonna see vultures circling, mate. I'll have him on his knees, begging for mercy. Wait, that's the only time Crow's ever gonna be a bird of prey. Generative AI has destroyed your business. And I'm not saying you deserve that fate, but if anybody here has ever downloaded anything from ChatGPT, I think you're great and I love you. No more money for Mr. Microsoft Paint by numbers, but he can't get a real job because self-checkouts have destroyed his 10 to 5. He had a business, but ChatGPT offered the better price.
I think the reason this round, because again, the concept's fine. You know, the whole, his job's being taken over by AI, like that's fine, and they're messing with it as a result. But I think when you do something like that, you've got to do, again, this is where maybe a more traditional mind would play Kick better. You say, he's a program designer for a bank. Or just you let the audience know where you're going with the scheme before you start, if that makes sense. Whereas I think just throwing it out there that generative AI is stealing his job. I don't know. I don't know. I think the exact, like whenever someone throws out their real life job to kick it sets the mundanity of their on-screen or on-stage character versus that real life component, and it makes it absurd from the get-go. And I think Kick not doing that hurts it a little bit. It just doesn't deliver the impact it needs to have.
Think that episode of Star Trek, the ones where the Borg get inside, because artificial intelligence has just taken over Patrick's enterprise. You're boring, no skill, no charisma, no charm, just a man who writes sick, and everybody who's followed him raps exactly like him. Funny, we gave PC a platform and he sanitized things. He thinks he's a star, but Patrick's a sidekick. If he dispute that, I'll hack and slide.
That was interesting because he could have finished clean and chose not to, chose to keep going. But that was maybe his most competitive round. And again, nothing wrong with the stuff. I think his execution can be a little bit hit and miss sometimes. It's a bit jaggedy. And again, the fact that he is a bit absurd, it means that it takes him a minute to get into stride with it. And again, that flip cost him. Like, he went over by 15 seconds, so they called time. The shoe bit cost him 10 seconds. And again, like, it really only got Slester in the room anyway. But I gave that first round to Crow because I just thought, again, he's too technical. He has too many good bits.
Damn it.
Yeah, just too strong. First round on Crow. Anyways, first round to Crow, round 2 on Crow.
My wit's so sharp it can leave a person's head severed and have it dripping on their clothes like an urban trendsetter. I'm just gonna keep clobbering you until you learn to dress better, because I designed this material to be at your throat like a turtleneck sweater. This ain't a personal vendetta. I get surgical with every op that I'm given. But you're sloppy with writtens, so no one understands what you're trying to say like a doctor's prescription. So it sound off when you're spitting, because you could be a genius with the quotes you wrote, but it don't sound decent in your vocal tone. And it ain't pleasing when you're repeating it, because you just be screaming shit like Yoko, bro. Well, these are 60-second rounds, so I'ma quickly beat him till he's comatose, because I pack hits in the 60s like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And I hope you know that we won't ever like you. And the only way to end this cycle is through blood, pooled up. So I brought something different for this pussy like a moon cup. Cause you suck. So this'll be a violent killing. Ain't no funny shit when your sides are splitting. He can't handle the amount of pain that I'm inflicting. I'll throw strikes at him until his eye is missing like Michael Bisping. I hope you guys are listening. That's 2.
That's 2. And I think that's the round that solidified for me that I thought Crow has more to give in this tournament. And I hope it didn't come across, again, I don't want it to sound like I'm damning with faint praise, but I've seen him, when I saw him at Checkpoint 5, and then I saw him as well at one of the match days. I forget which one it was. I forget. He was, oh man, I'm even forgetting who he was battling. It might have been Frost. I forget. But like, he kicks into this gear at certain stages in his battles where he is properly aggressive, properly animated, really ratcheting up his delivery to a point where he becomes really, really entertaining, really engrossing. Even though he took this battle, and I feel like, again, he took it comfortably because, again, too technical, too many good angles, clean as a whistle. It just lacked that little bit more of a punch to really say that he excelled in respect of the other battles on this episode. And that's why I was saying, like, he won at a canter, but that there's a lot more to come from him. And in that respect, I hope people who see this and, again, aren't familiar with his previous battles, haven't seen his previous battles, and they may be thinking the same thing I am, which is, I mean, it was fine. It didn't really hit me in the way that some of the other stuff on this, it made me, some of the other stuff in some of these episodes, it makes you laugh, makes you crease, makes you go, ooh, that's raw, or whatever it is. It really gets a reaction out of you. Crow is capable of that, and consistently. It's just that, again, I think Crash made this point yesterday, and I think it's been said 1,000 times at this point, and it's true. There's a lot of guys that are still acclimatizing in the first round of this tournament to the formatting, to the filming, to the interview segment, to the way the day unfolds. It's not a social event. There's work to put. Lads, we're here to fucking put in work. It does probably throw a lot of them off of their normal preparation, the way that they get into the mood of battling. It'd be no different than me. Like, if I was to pick up my equipment and try and stream on site, it does fuck with you. It makes you rethink things, and you can't get into a habit. But anyways, it was a strong round from Crow. I like the fact that he was more attentive to kick Nelly in that second round. So while the first round was essentially name flips, the second round was a bit more it was a bit more direct, and I think I preferred it on that basis. Anyways, it's second round on kick. Thank you. Fucking trying to hit the space.
A battle in World of Warships isn't just a fight between caliber and armor.
Because I've swapped laptops, by the way, I'm playing it on YouTube because, you know, it saves me having to download it. But we're just going to have to deal with the adverts. I'm really sorry about that, but again, it's part of the setup. Anyways, round 2 on Kick Nelly. Let's go.
Crow hates the fact that he's going bald, and your methods to conceal it have sort of failed. You're like a 9-2 on the Norwood scale. So fuck your catchphrase.
Sorry, Kick. My laptop being a twat. Anyways, right. Let's try that again.
Let's go. Second round.
Crow hates the fact that he's going bald, and your methods to conceal it have sort of failed.
Thank you.
You're like a 9-2 on the Norwood scale. So fuck your catchphrase.
I don't get that reference, by the way. What's the Norwood scale? I get 9-2. I understand that. But Norwood scale? Don't know. Don't get it.
And I feel it's awkward. I'll take your black feather and put it in the cap that you use to conceal your baldness. Last battle, you were out here mocking Colton while simultaneously rocking the same trim as Bobby Charlton. Des Johnson brought it up in your battle, and you were in tears looking like a fight's an option. You don't deserve to use shampoo. The only guy I know who's cried from Johnson's. But since then, he's applying topic, uses his hair fibres to disguise his losses, but any lady who's ever laid eyes upon him will know that Crow's always a virgin, due to them fibre optics. And compared to this guy's croppies, done nothing, just stood in their shadow, he's almost catching frostbite. But with hair that thin, I can see why you're actively avoiding the spotlight. Yeah, fuck him, you boring, silly, almost bald bastard. Your name's Patrick Courier. You should go to Istanbul and get the full package. Time.
There you go. And that is that mountain that Kick's got to climb, man. It's not that his stuff couldn't work. And again, far be it for me to tell guys that I've done this 1,000 times, man. And again, I'll have arguments with battle rappers and the promoters about some of this stuff, and it's not pro wrestling. Yeah, but no, I'm not talking about pro wrestling. I'm talking about psychology. This applies in fucking management situations. It applies in real life. It applies in conflict situations. If I can't believe you while you're talking, it immediately takes me out of what you're saying and doing. And when I see guys in these situations, I get it's a memorization thing. They're busy trying to memorize what they're trying to say. But if I was ever going to take the plunge and try battling, the number one thing I'd want to try and make sure I include in my performing style is that I'm dealing with my opponent. I see some guys drift off into their mind sometimes. So you're there, I'm here, I'm battling you, and I'm over here somewhere. Da 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 ba 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 da 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 da. Like, your opponent's there. Like, again, if you're gonna go, why are you not looking at his Kick's part there? Like, look at his fucking head if you're talking about his supposedly thin hair. Point to it, highlight it. You're trying to be a jester in this moment. You're trying to make people laugh at this in this moment. It's difficult when it's clear you're trying to rattle it off. And I think that awkwardness, that unorthodoxy is ultimately what the disconnect is with Kick. Because and that's the frustrating thing I think a lot of people find is he can connect when he hits a rhythm, or they describe Kick sometimes as a bit of a minefield, because you find a lot of the time, and then one day you'll just be battling him and you'll stand on one of his landmines and it'll blow up in your face and suddenly you have no fucking idea what to do. I really believe Kick has it in him in order to be able to refine that, to turn that into a much more sustained feeling. Again, it's the one thing I'd coach in every battle, no matter what style you have. If you're battling, battle your opponent or direct to the crowd, someone in the crowd, or the camera. You've got to connect with one of those three things. If you're off in the distance somewhere, remembering your stuff, you got to work on that. Even if it's, again, something as stupid as put a fucking picture of your opponent and do it to your opponent's face. Like, you need to have that directness. I need to feel the connection with the material as you're spitting, man. Anyways, it's third round on Crow. I gave the second round to Crow as well.
He said I'm losing my hair, but I'm actually losing my patience. Are you a dumb cunt, fam? Because a gun can give you a bald head that can't be stopped. Like One Punch Man. Mm-hmm. Yo, he's been on the scene for years and years at the bottom of the ladder. Someone tell Ali Alexander that...
I think we also have to decide whether or not the flip is worth it. So, like, he's lost 12 seconds. He's gotten started, so we'll call it 10. Is a flip to you guys worth 1/6 of a round? We lose just under 15, or is it just over? Might be just over. Just over 15% of their allotted time in a round to a flip, which I get can raise, especially, you'll see one later that fucking raises the roof, man. It can work beautifully. But is it worth that gamble when you've timed your stuff? I mean, is it? I wouldn't. If I was battling, again, not that I ever will, so what the fuck do I have? You know, what the fuck am I talking about? I get it. But if I was battling, I think I'd want to stick to my material, man. Because I'd have timed it, and I'd have practiced it and honed it, and fucking... I get maybe there's a... maybe there's, there's a want to try and feed off the energy of the room or the organic nature of the moment. You know, you want to catch people off guard. I don't know, but there's only been a few instances so far where the flip was justified. But that's just to me. I'm curious what people think, though. Do people think that it's worth it, is what I'm wondering. Could be, might not be. Also, I see people reacting. Leave comments, man. Say hello. I like knowing who's in the chat. I hate feeling like I'm talking... well, actually, no, I am talking to myself, granted. But there's 4 of you watching now. Say hello. Be nice to hear from you. Anyways, sorry. Kick. No. Crow. What were you saying, sir?
That he's not a battle rapper. So I'm appealing to the judges block. You can't let Kick go through. Because just like his performances, nobody would dig those moves. This little prick owns shit clothes and has a big fro too. He's Jimbo fused with disco stew. but thinks he's Kim Jong-un. I mean, call him...
Jimbro fused with disco stew. I think that was my favorite line from... It's just the right amount of petty mixed in with just the right amount of, yeah.
A communist and it falls as a compliment. But then he brags about money, his house, and all his accomplishments. A champagne socialist who drank his way from squalor to opulence. So I only want to hear you stacking chips in alcohol.
And this is why, by the way, nothing what they're saying. It's just, it dawns on me that every battler so far seems to be falling into this trick. And I don't know if it was part of the production direction. They all stand way too far apart. And then as the battle eases, they start getting in each other's personal space. And that's when it starts to feel like a battle. You know what I mean? Pagan mentioned this yesterday on the live stream. And it was something I noticed last week when I was trying to get a grab for the thumbnail. Like, I tried to get this shot. This what you're seeing here. Like, okay, that's the moment that they're closest together. So that's the moment I'll use because it's a square picture. I've got to fit within a rectangular thumbnail. I need 3 or 4 of them. Pagan and Dynamic Mike, for the first 2 rounds, weren't within fucking 20 feet of each other. And it's so frustrating trying to get a picture of both of them within the same shot. And I don't think I managed it. I think I got Pagan and maybe Mike's nose. But all of them, for some reason, again, I think it was a rep thing. It's that now they're going to have battles under their belt in this format. They're going to be all of these little things that maybe give it an awkwardness or give it a slightly unpolished feel. They're going to work out. But the other point I made earlier, Crow, look at him now. He's finally getting up a bit of momentum. And this particular moment where he's talking about the anarcho side versus his, you wannabe socialist, you're bought and paid for, that sort of thing, is the first time I really felt like he's starting to lay it into Kick. It's good. It's good.
Alex Anonymous. Yo, he's never forgetting me, because I brought him the kind of cocktail that you get for your enemy. A couple shots with a lemon squeeze. I'm refreshing his memory. Because you built a labor company from the ground up, and metaphorically, it seems appealing. Because the thing about both you and Bricks is we've all seen him reach his ceiling. And really, I don't give a fuck if you tuck into roast covered in gold. But meet in the middle? Nah, I'd rather cut to the bone. I just think it's funny you chose to battle rap when rapping is something you don't. Because that makes you a socialist who wants to be publicly owned.
Let's go.
Finished with a flourish. Can't say anything other than that. Crow,
So Crow
again,
grew up on a
final one I
military
gave to
base,
Crow as well.
and it's
but
absolutely
Kick Nelly's.
destroyed his sex life. Ever since a young age, even the drill sergeants were wondering what his deal is, especially after he named his rifle Tommy Villis. Like, here's a wild thought, mate. Drop down and give me 20 is not a form of foreplay. But I met his ex. Tried it. I know she a damn hoe. I showed her my privates and she went commando. Cause you are the boldest rapper, bruv.
hell.
Turning up, you are the boldest rapper, bruv. Step into rappers' cars looking
Sorry,
like a
I'm just
Guess
going to
Who
pull that back.
character.
Because again, slightly different delivery and the silliness and audacity of that material works. But because he's just a little, it's like me when I'm talking to when I'm talking to, I'll be honest with you right now, okay? When I talk to you guys on here, I'm probably closer to the real me than the character I kind of slip into when I'm doing my interviews, which is overtly nerdy and a bit prim and proper. Like, oh, I'm so sheltered and all the rest of it. When in real life, I'm a proper bastard like many people, right? And it is that awkwardness that I don't like about some of those shows that I do, because I feel like it comes off as like, it's a bit awkward, a bit cringy, right? And then I do these and I feel much better about it because I'm like, oh, okay, that felt genuine, right? And it's in me to kind of go, right, just fucking do that, right? But the trouble is that is a conscious thing. You have to go into that mode almost, right, when you sit down to do it. With Kick, I don't know if this is him naturally or not, but if it is him naturally, I would want him just to write, okay, you're writing around now about him growing up on a military base and that affecting his sexuality to some degree or in some ways, right? This needs to be really silly. This needs to be really fucking dumb. You know what I mean? I need to see some fucking swagger from you. I need to see some whatever. You need to really annoy him with this, right? And again, like, just watch the segment. He's not in the same room as Crow mentally.
No defense. Drop down and give me 20 is not a form of foreplay. But I met his ex. Tried it. I know she a damn hoe. I showed her my privates and she went commando. Cause you are the...
So that's what I'm saying, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, no loose chats in the house. Wee, ladies and gentlemen. No loose chat. How am I doing handling Crash so far? Am I making proper use of his talents? Am I wasting him by not throwing to him more? I did dominate the conversation a little bit yesterday, didn't I? I tried to throw to Crash. Next week when we do the show, I have an idea. Hopefully, if you're a Crash fan, you're going to like it. But anyways, back to this show. My point is, right, so, she's a damn hoe. I showed her my privates and she went commando. Like, that's silly, but it wasn't delivered in a silly way. And again, I think that disconnect is what cost. It's not the material. I think that material written, that's one of the shorts that fucking Prem are after. They want something that's very clippable, that you can splice some fucking meme material over, like whatever, right? But it's just not delivered in a way that then hits. And it is just that little bit of connective tissue. And again, that's why, with all due respect to people, Kick is still a wild card, man. As much as you may want, people might want to write him off. He is a wild card because he can turn it on. That's the thing.
Boldest rapper, bruv. Turning up. You are the boldest rapper, bruv. Step into rappers' cars looking like a Guess Who character. No defense, looking like Graham Potter's your manager. Body says one thing, but your face betrays you like a tag team partner who's had enough.
That's interesting. Like Graham Potter's your manager. Football references these days is dangerous on a pre-recorded show, lads, because football moves entirely too fast for that to be topically relevant when it releases. I like it. I like a topical reference as much as the next person. However, dates the recording a little bit.
On stage, looking like a straight amateur, because you can't control what your face does, right? And that's why you look salty every time your opponents say lines. But when the crowd reacts, he stares at them like they're a bunch of obnoxious children. I guess Crow really is Brandon Lee, because the moment someone else in the scene got props, it killed him. Time.
Ooh. That was do you know what? I didn't catch that on the first one. Woo! Okay. Again, both guys finishing strong. But ultimately, I gave all three to Crow. The notes I have is gave all 3 rounds to Crow. Solid, if unspectacular battle. It seems to be the prevailing opinion in the comment section as well, because everyone basically said there's a lot more to come from Crow, and I concur. That's not a bad thing. It means he's going to warm into the tournament, hopefully gain some momentum. And he spoke about it himself. His next battle against Red Wolf, he feels is a step up in many respects. I just felt like this battle suffered maybe because of the tournament format. There just didn't feel like that genuine animosity that I really don't like you and I can't wait to fucking say some mean things about you. I can't wait to have some fun with you. I'm going to make fun of you. I'm going to make people laugh at you and all that sort of stuff. It just felt like both of them were sort of kicking through the gears a little bit. However, Kick was doing Kick things, and the interview segment, which, do you know what? Fuck it. Let's just throw back to that quickly because it does bear watching one more time. Let me just... Where is it? That's the start. There it is.
Where are you from? At this point, you're probably not avoiding therapy because of stigma. You're probably avoiding therapy because you've become...
Hey, YouTube. Yes, I need therapy. You're driving me fucking nuts with the adverts. Pack it in. I'm not paying for YouTube Premium either, so stop asking for me to take a free fucking trial.
I am Crow, Patrick.
He is.
And I am now based in Banbury in Oxfordshire. I'm originally from the Air Force, California, all that shit. So I've got a weird accent.
My name is Nelly, and I'm from Cambridge.
Why did you enter the world?
That was the most reasonable answer he gave in the entire interview.
I fucks with UK battle rap heavy. I want to see it thrive, and I'm obsessed with rapping and words and shit. So I want to just come here and show off that, you know, I've got a crazy mind for it.
Because winning matters.
Right.
I like...
Right, and this is where I need people to understand where Kick Nelly is coming from. I'm not saying it is good. I'm not saying it is bad. I am saying you need to judge it based on the merits with which he is attempting to deliver it. He is attempting to annoy you with this promo. He is not attempting to endear himself. He is not attempting to entertain you. He is attempting to be obnoxious as fuck. You tell me if he achieves that goal or not with the answers he gives.
Judges. I like accountability. I like being told that I've won or that I've not. Because that's the best way to progress. There's a metric. There's something measurable. There's criteria. That's why I entered. And because I want to win. I mean, $3 grand's nothing really. At the end of the day, you know, it's a month's salary on minimum wage now, thereabouts. You know.
I don't know if he meant that ironically or not, but if he meant it ironically, how many of you reacted to that with, oh, what is this guy on? What is he saying? He got your attention, motherfuckers, and that's the point. That's what I wanted to bring it back to. The Paul Q thing, no, not Paul Q, Q Ball thing, I'm going to just blitz past that. I don't get it. I'm sure there's some reason for it. By the way, that's the only thing I wanted to reference about this episode.
The block is chizzy, Lizzie is making the ends go round. Pinky and the dreams the mojo.
Sick song. I know it's been played in the background of Prem openings on certain videos. It's nice to know what the song is. I feel like I'm going to download it and use it for a workout segment at some point. Right, anyways, let's move on to the next battle, shall we? Which is... I'm assuming they didn't get the chance to interview Dynamic Mike. Because otherwise, there would be a segment running tangentially with Pagan. And there wasn't. Weird. But anyway, let's have a look at my notes for this one. Do I have any amazing insight? Let's go back. So, Dynamic Mike. My notes. Fun, but a little too excessive at times. Seems to enjoy battling and reminds me of an early Shuffle T / Marlowe solo battle, but because it definitely needs refinement. I don't think there's any dispute about that, but he has a unique quality to him. He has an enthusiasm that comes across. He seems to like being in there. He seems to like the attention. He likes the ability to be able to make people laugh. Like, that's unique in and amongst a lot of the guys that are just more worried about seeming credible in the delivery of their performances rather than going in there and really toying around with the concept of, I'm going to make fun of this guy and have some fun doing it. So I like that. The question I asked in the show yesterday and the question I wrote here is, what does he have to do to refine his style? And more of a, can he overturn an early setback like this? And now the perception that, because that's the tricky thing. In battle rap, once you have a perception or a reputation, it's fucking hard to shake that shit. Hi, I'm Lorne, Captain Negative to many people within the UK battle rap sphere. It just stays with you. And you've got to work really hard to shed it. And his reputation now is one of, seems to dig himself a little too much and seems to struggle to stay prescient within the battle. You marry that up with Pagan, who I just wrote professional, effective, technical, fun. He has the... okay. I will share with you. I pinged Pagan after the show aired on Sunday. And I sent him some voice notes. The first voice note was basically the interview segment. I was like, dude, we got to work on your promo, man. Like, I love your battle rap style, which gives me all the faith in the world that you could promo. But you promo in that safe space. In that... So what do you win in the tournament? Well, you know, it's just such a great opportunity, and I'm just so pleased to be here, and so many great battlers, and I'm really looking forward to it. Could have guessed all that. Like, when you've got a camera in your face like this, and you don't have anyone stopping you from saying exactly what you want, apart from the editor on the back end, you can set your own agenda, you can set your own narrative. And again, as much as people want to dunk on Kick for a variety of different reasons, the credit I will give to Kick is that he took the opportunity with both hands and did exactly what he wanted to do, and I believe achieved the desired effect that he wanted to achieve, which is annoy you all. There are guys in this tournament who did not make of that what you will, if that makes sense. They played it a bit safe. And I hope, because I'm given to understand that when they do the next set of recordings, that they're going to do a lot more interviews with the guys now that they've graduated to the next phase of the tournament, qualified to the next phase of the tournament. So they'll have the opportunity to reflect on these interview segments, how they look, how they sounded, how they came across, how people received it, and go, right, I've got some material now to work with in the form of the battles that took place in the tournament. I've got a frame of reference with my opponents. I've got a chart now, a path forward to success. Right, what do I want to do when they stick the camera in my face this time? Now, it is worth saying, your boy Lauren was warning you all about this back in fucking July, August of last year, whenever the fuck I was doing my contender series. I told all of you, turn up and have a plan. Not just in the battles themselves, but every single one of these is going to be marketed, recycled, re-clipped, resent to fucking every corner of the goddamn social media sphere. And people need to get you. They need to gravitate towards you. They need to understand. They need to resonate. Or they need to hate you. They need to, I fucking hate this guy. Get him out of my face. And then when you see him battle and you see someone else, you root for the other person because you just want to see that person. It doesn't matter. You got to make that connection. And I think if I criticize Pagan for anything, it was the interview. But here's what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to show you a bit behind the scenes. And this is how you shouldn't trust my opinion when it comes to battle rap. You watching this now for my opinion on battle rap, it's a waste of your time. I pinged Pagan and I said, I want to tell you something, and I don't want it to go to your head too much, and you need to listen to me very carefully when I give you this compliment. You are the first person in a long time to remind me or put me in mind of Soul. And the reason I said that is because when I used to watch Soul battles, it was that thing where you didn't get Soul until he started snapping. and he would set himself up and he would build and he would be technical, he would be funny, he would be aggressive, he would be everything. And in a battle rap context, he makes perfect sense. He's fucking amazing. But in an interview, so he can be prickly, he can be very direct, very sullen, quite stoic at times. He's difficult to get until you put him in a battle rap situation. And Pagan strikes me as that. He strikes me as the kind of guy who I think... We were talking about Mystique. In fact, who was it? I forget who it was, but the discussion was about some of the more preeminent battlers. You know, some of the really big guys, and like humanizing them to a certain degree. And the counter argument to me was, well, why should you humanize them? Surely the Mystique is the draw. Yes and no. Mystique is good if it suits the character or the persona you're trying to portray. If you're just being mysterious for the sake of being mysterious, it's a bit try-hard. But with guys that genuinely just don't have much to say, or rather want to do their talking in the ring, they're the guys you give one-word answer questions to. You cut quick. You get them in. You get them out. They have the opportunity to say the bare minimum because that's all they really do want to say. They just want to say, yep, no, cool, bye. And you let them do their talking in the ring. Because again, people get that. It's like, right, I'm going to tune into this battle because that's where I'm going to see him start to fucking escalate. I think Pagan is one of those guys. As much as I pinged him and said, we got to work on your promos, dude, I think maybe Pagan's one of those guys where you don't promo him. At least you don't have him sit there and try and humanize him. If you promo Pagan, you promo him quick, you promo him direct, you promo him to a point, you package him with very little wiggle room to kind of expose him to any meaningful, any extended period of time, because I just don't think he's that kind of person. In my chat with him yesterday, again, very down to earth, very humble, not the kind of verbose, excessively emotional or expressive kind of person. That can work, but only if you produce it in a certain way. So, anyways, so point being, I compared him to Soul, and I make no regrets about that. I believe that young man has got a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to see it. Anyways, let's check out the battle, shall we?
Pagan, Glasgow, Ireland, I'm fucking roasting. Let's go.
Like I say, engage in the comments. Let us know what you think won this battle. Patreon.com/Premier Battles for all the battles in full. That being said, the coin toss was done off camera. Pagan is on round one. Let's go, bro.
Let's go.
So, Mike Holiday is where I grew up. That's where his parents have roots. He gets all reckless and loose. He starts hassling our locals. It's a terrible look. Man, I'll take you to the forest, stick your head in a noose, leave your ass dangling from the end of a spruce. That's if you really want to hang in my neck of the woods. Oh, but my mommy's Irish. Don't even fucking try it. You try to bring that fam in, because you ain't known a hunger like this. Late nights I take flights with sunken eyelids to expand underground like the London Irish, while you treat rap like a novelty, obnoxious with your mockery. I'm a guest in the house of hip-hop. You're a squatter on the property. Astronomy to astrology, discipline to farce, and it's written in the stars what an idiot you are. You need big names to get you on a card, because yours isn't very large. You want my help blowing up? Test the ignition in your car. Man, this is bubblegum pop to punk rock, a clump of blood clots to gunshots, a slug of gut rot to young scotch, cut from that one cloth to cum sock. Fuck off. I carried my class, and this the shit it fucking gets you. Rock that boulder on my shoulder while he's tripping up on pebbles. You might have a music degree, but that shit is nothing special, because what good's a fucking mic if it's not picking up the levels? Rap.
Time, but look at the... He's alright, innit? Pagan is so fucking good. Timed to absolute perfection. Flow on point. Angles on point. Direct. Vicious at times. Funny in others. But this is the only round where I think Mike countered it well enough to get the win. And you'll see why in a second.
What's up, Pagan?
Hello.
And again, just straight away, invade the personal space, command the area. Fair play.
You live in your mum's basement. All you do is talk shit on Twitter all day while you listen to Thug Nation. Except on a Sunday when you hit up the bus station. Me, I'm a fun lad on the whole with good chat. Last time I battled an aggressive dude, I had to get my shoulder put back. I came here for a laugh. Don't overlook that. or I'll show this Irish lad the meaning of fun and give his skull a good crack. Fucking Twitter warrior. Some of the stuff this dude will tweet, oh, about to watch this battle in the gym because it will give me the boost I need.
Facts.
Just got home from the gym and started writing some stupid heat. Sick battle, guys. Might go to the gym Tuesday week. Aw. You go to the gym, yeah?
He does.
What are you doing in there?
I'll tell you what, Mike. He has broadened up. Go and check out his short circuit stuff. He's been putting in the work.
Right.
Funny though.
Just picture it. Pagan going to the gym, takes a friend. Oh, for fuck's sake, Fian, is it wrist day again?
Wrist day is fucking. That's great. That's great. Again, say what you like about the rest of this battle, but in this one, he just countered that direct, visceral, hard, technical stuff with just straight clownish behavior, and it worked.
Let me guess. Start with some stretch wordplay to warm you up. Then it's 20 reps of writing multis that are forced as fuck. Superset it with some shit bars that could have been done on the couch. And your cardio is 20 minutes on Twitter just running your mouth. Am I close? Yeah, that's a proper burn you can feel in the wrist. Now make sure to go home and tell everyone you've been in the gym, you fucking 14-year-old time.
There you go. And that's the only one I gave to Mike, and only because, again, Pagan was consistent with the rest of his delivery and the material and the rest of the battle, and it was just too strong, way too strong. But that round for Mike, that encapsulates what his potential is. He has the ability to undermine opponents, clown on people, have fun with it, and make it funny as he's going. He's very animated. He's very energetic. However, in the next 2 rounds, I think you see it get away from him a little bit. Anyways, round 2 on Pagan.
Mike here has ADHD, the most hyperactive of guys. He can't focus on any one task at a time. Think Doctor Who with those angel statues go snap in your spine if you let them pass from your sight. Because I'm a stone-faced killer, and if you get distracted, you'll die. ADHD, boy. How you gonna take me to the cleaners when a game of Guitar Hero can fucking make you take a seizure? You take amphetamines just to fucking function. You're basically a tweaker, and since you're taking all this ether, I'm basically your dealer. He's a major little creeper in a group called the Sax Offenders. That's tremendous. He is. In a group called the Sax Offenders. That's tremendous. No better way to have the fans at attendance than to hint sex crimes are your band's objective.
And that's the moment I think the battle turned permanent, because he did what Mike does and better, because he just undermined Mike for the rest of the battle with that one line. Fantastic.
Sad and desperate, but that's ADHD, just trying to grab attention. Massive weapon. I will stab you while you play that saxophone, have you punctured and severed with lungs like crumble in cheddar. I'll have...
Point to what I was talking about earlier. Look at how engaged Pagan is. Look at how he's directing all of this at Mike. He's making you believe all of this is something he's been wanting to say. I can't wait to say this to your face. I can't wait to disrespect you. I can't wait to undermine you. I can't wait to fucking expose you. And it's all at Mike. It's the feel of a battle. It's the uncomfortable competitiveness and the energy that you feel in a room when a guy is fucking in it like this, man. It's great. 10 out of 10 for Pagan for embodying that spirit of battle right now.
A sax man like a tax man, stuck on the tenor. Fuck you. And the scam your little friends are running, obnoxious cheerleaders, 20 of them at every function. We only stop doing live events to prevent them coming. You plant people in the crowd to affect the judging. I send rappers back to the crowd with better judgment. And that's the difference between me and him. I win people over. You bring over people to win.
Let's go. Second round on Mike.
I gave that round to him, but let's see what Mike's got.
So he said I got ADHD.
Yes.
Whatever, mate, fine. Anyway, time.
It's a good flip.
Yeah.
It's a good flip. Good flip.
Who the fuck put 20p in Brendan Gleeson? I mean, Pagan's writing is on par with Game of Thrones. 7th season. But he's only ever been given shit opponents that nobody would expect to beat him. Like me. Nah, I'm a dragon with a bad
self-deprecation, dangerous ploy in battle rap. Only really works if you're trying, again, like, Shuffle tried that for a bit, but then he flipped it back to like the shotty battle. Like, I'm my own worst fucking critic, and I think I'm fucking brilliant. Like, it just goes over. But self-deprecation will only take you so far in certain moments. If you're trying to counter a point made by your opponent, I guess you are better off always just going like, not me. In that moment, unlike me, however, like, you can play it ironically, you can, but you need to put your fucking chest out, stick your chin out, and go for people in battle rap. You don't want to be the shrinking violet, say, oh, you know, whatever. Like, just, it doesn't work.
Temper like Deborah Meaden. The most beggy, obsessive, and desperate guy. He battles in London, flies over from Glasgow every time. How much does that cost you? Now he's obsessed with this tournament. This clown actually thinks that he may win it. You're going to need that $3,000 just to break even on plane tickets. You utter sucker. You Ryanair Prime subscription having motherfucker. Says that he offsets his air miles. Don't take the piss. I just have to take your word for it, like a plagiarist. How can you claim to be some sort of leftist Irish patriot when you literally take more domestic flights than Taylor Swift? Pagan, I'm telling you, taking the lonely flights for doing a battle's weird, and getting the plane at the only time you've ruined the atmosphere. What are you going to do, Pagan? Put me in a hole like a liney cat? His rounds are weird. Plus, I bet one bumper cat would slant just so hard that it'll pass out to a sound of cheers. Time.
And it just gets away from him sometimes. Like, he's in a flow, and then he has to catch himself, and the energy, like I say, if he can direct it, channel it, and execute it a little bit better, there's a proper performer there in Dynamic Mike. But final round on Pagan. I gave that round to Pagan, obviously.
You have a music degree, bro. I know that shit is null and void. I know that had your mum annoyed. Because you know what we call a full-time DJ? Unemployed. I'll have this cunt destroyed. You'll know why he went missing. If I put my foot down, he's getting his head kicked in. I give him a hook and some sea legs like he went fishing. The DJ will think he clocked into work when the deck's spinning. I'll split his head, leaving speckled bits of flesh all resting on his pecs. We're both Palestine supporters, but you're repping it to death when I make you a martyr and stick that melon on your chest. Thinking of me like an opportunity, till in your head there's a plate, till all that's left of your brain is saying, don't try it with me ever again. I'll send you home with amnesia in a vegetable state, and you won't recognize your house, but you'll remember your place. He is.
See what I mean? That's the third round in a row where he's delivered a line like that, which, okay, all right. Like, fucking say it with your chest, Pagan. Go on, lad.
He is exhausting to watch. Isn't it absurd? Arms flapping while he's rapping as if he was a bird. I'll cut those arms up and send them to your missus where she works. She'll know you're dead when she gets your digits in her purse. She'll receive you how we do, diminishing returns. I'm driven, and this is chicken. Watch him stick it in reverse and try to escape this ugly body like the lifting of a curse. You'll upset me with a victory. You're not living on this earth. The only people you'll be upsetting will be sitting in your hearse, and that's time.
Damn, Pagan. On a rewatch, that was way more brutal than again, this is why I rewatch him, man. Like, judging it on the night is one thing while I'm trying to fucking frantically make notes of lines and shit. Like, Pagan. That was unnecessarily rough at times, my friend. Anyways, last round on Dynamic Mike. Let's go.
Who the fuck told Rumpelstiltskin he could fumble children? And why is he giving it all that? I'm just bewildered. He's just a little pagan, a humble pilgrim. Whereas I got bars that shake the room and crumble buildings.
That, for instance, he might have just got away with it, but like I say, that's just one of those moments where it might have been to press the advantage a little bit would have been better.
So this is apparently the Academy South final.
Yes.
And if I had to pick a person, it would not be you. Not because I think you batter me for certain. This like fighting Melania from Elden Ring. Let me run it back and fit the word in. Final boss of this game turned out to be a massive ginger virgin. So pack it in and listen. Ooh. This masochistic Christian should get banned for shit he's written. Like when Martin Luther went against the Catholic traditions. I'm battering this prick and it's enacted with precision. I am slaughtering a pagan. And no one expected it. Like the Spanish Inquisition.
There, again.
Throughout the academy, I went from dead shook to flawless. Crocodile from One Piece. The left hook's enormous. I'll leave him on the ground. I'll leave him on the ground after I cut inside like a left-footed sportsman. All in all, the difference, audible. This a textbook performance. Time.
But the thing with it is that I don't think that he can be ashamed of that performance at all. I think people were being a bit unnecessarily critical of Dynamic Mike. I can't remember what the studio segment said. I'm not going to play it. You'll forgive me. But like, I think, look, there's some refinement to be made there, 100%. But I would say though that I think he just needs to get a little bit better at finding the style in terms of that being a bit more, just keeping the tires on the road a little bit more, I guess. Like those disengagements where he's trying to find himself, they're just, it's just, it doesn't do him any favors. But so I gave it 2-1 to Pagan, but I can see the case for a 3-0. He was that first round was sick. It was more fun than the first battle for obvious reasons. Pagan sets a good standard of clean, well-written, and a fun performance. Mike seems like he's having a blast. And makes up for his writing to a degree with playfulness, cheekiness, and fun. But Pagan was just too strong, too technical. But it was awarded a unanimous 3-0 decision. Sean Cray said it was blindingly obvious it was 3-0. Again, I can see the argument for 3-0, but I would just say, though, that if we're going to be fair in this tournament, you do need to give guys props for execution of their respective styles, and Mike executed his style almost flawlessly in the first round. I feel like he deserves a round for that. Anyways, the surprise of this episode, Kingslee Thunder versus Hulk. And we began not only with a shout-out from Hulk, which is fantastic. I appreciate that, Hulk. Kingslee Thunder with probably the best interview of the series so far. Like, I'm going to say this now. And I mean this. How is Kingslee Thunder not famous? Like, in the entertainment. He's such a funny fucker. When he's on screen and when he's on camera and when he's got his brain switched on in, like, again, on the live stream, he can be a bit, like, very relaxed. Too relaxed, if anything. Like, I want to reach through the screen and tase him sometimes just to get a reaction out of him. However, when he turns up to events, when he's being recorded, when he's delivering his stuff on stage, he if he's not the best performer that Premier Battles has right now, he's up there in just charisma alone. He is so charismatic and believable and sellable and marketable and talented and funny as fuck. How is that fucker not famous? It doesn't make sense to me. Not in this era anyway. Anyways, the only thing I wanted to know about this battle is that and again, Crash countered this by saying he felt like it was a jump-in moment, but they cut away from the interview segments and the preview segment in the studio to a bunch of stuff and then came back to the battle after 10-15 minutes. Don't like that. Do that stuff first, then preview the battle, then do the interviews, then do the battle. I feel like you've got to keep the sequences going with some of this stuff. Production-wise, anyway, that's just my opinion. You want to be consistent with it. That's all. Anyways, right, I won't waste any more of your time. Let me pull the battle wherever it is. There it is. Bobby. There he is. Where are my notes, actually, before I get into this? So, Kingslee Thunder. Funny, had the crowd entertained and gave a great interview, great personality, gave a vintage Kingslee Thunder performance, but what else might he have to do to progress in the tournament given he was countered in this battle by basically harder material by a veteran? Is his personality and on-screen charisma enough to carry him further than the qualifying stages of the round of 16 in this tournament? Well, time will tell. We'll see. And then we've got Hulk, who I felt gave the strongest, perhaps the strongest round of this episode. Reflecting back, I think overall performance goes to Pagan. Those 3 rounds were fucking great. Fantastic stuff. But I can see giving it to Hulk, and I can't argue with the idea that this was Battle of the Night. This was fucking amazing. Hulk, the veteran, showed he's still got plenty in the tank, and Gave perhaps one of the more traditionally formatted battles so far in this tournament, but does he have enough diversity and depth of material to cope with the different types of competitors and styles in the tournament? And who will cope best when it comes to unnerving him with his more refined performing style? We'll have to wait and see, but for now at least, let's get into the battle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the tournament.
Pint of Guinness after my own heart,
We have
Kingslee.
another
Good luck.
battle in the first round. Introducing himself on the right. Your mum's favourite rapper.
Yep.
Hulk. Let's go. And introducing himself on the left. Introduce yourself.
Your nan's favourite rapper.
Which, by the way, I wish they'd have used in the marketing for this. I wish they'd have done something with that, because they've both said that before. Like, I would have loved some promo material where it's fine. After years, we finally have your mom's favorite rapper versus your nan's favorite rapper. That would have been funny as fuck. Get gassed on that shit, man.
Manchester, if you're in the building, make some noise. This is about to be a crazy battle. Have we decided who's going to go first? It's going to be round number 1 on Kingslee Thunder. Let's go.
Let's go.
Time.
Yo, it's 60-second round, so let me cut to the chase. If your name's Hulk, bad news, you're getting punched in the face. You're a fucking disgrace, and you've also battled since day dot. Anyone see him try scrapping with Tay-Rock? Embarrassment of a man, and now you've been dropped right in. Man said no to a pick, and you still haven't stopped crying. You must think you're pretty slick, walking around like a top titan. Bro found the one guy in the whole scene who's prolifically known for not fighting. Yo, fuck it. Yo, what's happening, online subscribers?
See, right. That, you can't convince me that's his stumble that he recovers from by just, again, he just leans into his character.
Right,
it's
let's
great.
get this part out the way. I have never lost a tournament battle. And I ain't fucking starting today. Yeah, I'm invested, tried and tested. I got smoked for the dub like pyrotechnics.
Much more, again, this felt much more like a battle, and I don't know if it's because these guys saw everyone else and just thought, yeah, none of that. Just the energy, the vibe, the body language, the interaction, the fucking stuff they're spitting at each other, much better, much improved.
You might regret this. You've signed your death wish. I moved so many bricks and fucking fire at Tetris. Yo, he's got an ID lanyard, which he swears is a Prada. It says Battle Rap Media in permanent marker. But the way he talks... Yo, he's got an ID lanyard, which he swears is a Prada. It says Battle Rap Media in permanent marker. But the way he talks about the scene, he's like a hurt little martyr. Hasn't done a single event recap unless he heard there was drama. He reckons he's top tier, but his bars ain't as debonair. He just gets half-baked off smelly herb and starts saying heavy words. Agoraphobia. You can't take him anywhere. Maybe it's because you market murder and scratch, but it's
By the way, isn't it agoraphobia? Like, if I'm going to give Hamill shit for profitable, I'm going to give Kingslee... I think that's agoraphobia, not agoraphobia. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's agoraphobia, though.
And you cash, so I'm preparing to ask that you start reversing the task, because you harbour hate from the past, so you started wearing the mask, but karma's burning it fast, and you can't return from the ash to Yempo.
Just about straight through. But that round, definitely, like, I feel like his charisma carried him a lot.
Yo, I would have fucking punched up Tay-Rock. Facts. But there was bare people in the middle stopping it, G. I would have shoved him, he would have shoved me, and I promised my mum I wouldn't go back to pushing rock on the streets.
First flip.
You said you was moving to Australia.
Yes, he did.
So all this battle rap stuff has got to stop, is true. Turns out when your girl said she's going back home, she had to clarify that it's not with you. Even she knows you're unoriginal. That's why she took an Uber ride to this crew of mine. I stretched out the cat. I left it looking like a new design of the Puma sign. I wrote my tag on her titties and freed the man them on her back. Now she's with the gang hitting shots, but her pussy's like a tweet, unable to be sent because there's too many characters in the box. You said goodbye forever, now you're back, mate, with a dead trim. I heard you and your girl do blackface as a sex kink.
My God. Oh my God. Yeah, if that doesn't put you in mind of old school, don't flop, nothing will. And listen, man, I get that a lot of the guys these days are far more technical. They have to be far more original than just insert random obscene comment. sometimes you just got to throw it out there because it works. Like, yeah. LSD in the background as well, like feeling right. Like, oh, right. Yeah, that's going to get memed.
You're here thinking up some lyrical shit, and she's down under with Aboriginal dick. You wish you was jet setting right now. The backdrop would look good for the gram, but you're here spitting bars well as good as you can, but they never hit any pockets like a footballer's hands. Probably don't think I'm the man, but I might be. Left uppercut, hit his ribs with the right knee. Best idea to hit the side door quietly. Wishing he was down under now with his wifey. Got him in the scope, no way to survive, G. Friends in the black whip, hiding him nicely. I'll catch him in traffic like cycling Mikey.
Time. And I gave that one to Hulk because, again, it's battle.
I ain't Commissioner Gordon, but I shoot up beams. His idea of formal attire is a pair of bootcut jeans. Mate, we were barely even colleagues, but after this we'll be distant strangers. Say the wrong thing, you're in instant danger. Red dot to your chest like Vincent Vega, then a shot to the side like a whiskey chaser. Fuck this prick's behavior and all the clouds he's been chasing. Should have seen him prepping for this one. Ooh, countlessly pacing. Like, how the fuck's Kingslee battling O'Shea and them, man? The bias is quite apparent to see here. Salty cause he spent his whole career trapped in the B tier. Don't worry about me, bro. I am having a sweet year. Glory days, motherfucker. You're just happy to be here. You should thank your bleeding.
It is worth pointing out that there's, again, like, I don't know what the etiquette here is or the decorum is, but pulling out the phone, even if it's just, if maybe he's reviewing his material, don't know. Maybe he's checking his tweets, don't know. But the checking your phone in the middle of the round thing is so disrespectful. But sometimes it works. I think if you do it every round or in every battle you ever do, it becomes a bit cliche. But there, it just, yeah, works.
Get your gangster Steve to fuck. He's the type to hear them shout order 69 at Mackey's and start dapping people up.
That's good. Again, Kingslee's coming out with some funny stuff, man.
But believe me, you don't want this battle to get handsy. I ain't intimidated because you occasionally sell Mandy and neck brandy. There ain't a chance in Ragnarok that you ever could get past me. So go on then, Hulk. Get angry, Hulk. Like, that'll slap your massive face in with your Aggie math equations. Your Professor Banner if he harnessed gammon radiation. Time.
Gammon radiation. Anyways, round 2 on Hulk. Let's go. And I think he flips again on this one.
Yo, noticed how his aggressive energy seems awkward and dumb. Just like Tay-Rock, bro, you can't talk to me how you talk to your mum. Woo! Listen, you could catch me and Pedro danking a new flavor. And we both win battles, the man them don't do failure. I'll pop round to your mum's when I'm in the mood later. You'll get locked in the fridge like the butler from Tomb Raider. Hey, listen, he's better off calling the feds. Winchester to his head like Shaun of the Dead. And when his mum tried crawling to bed, no entry. Pussy smells like she's been boiling an egg. See, I'll murk him quickly without the burner with me. Cause you gotta be assertive with certain nitties. I don't accept nickel or copper coins. What's the point? I cook all my ops while they're breathing like a lobster joint. We're in a different written class. I'm here to give them bars. You're just here to give them no rhythm. You don't even give them heart. This is supposed to be food for you. Your dinner's slipping past. I'm eating at the right time like an intermittent fast. You can't shot in your own ends. You can't shot in your own ends. That's mad, bruv. When my drive was for that BP, I was gassed up. I didn't have a Mac in the back of the act, no, bro. I had a shotty in a Golf and an 8 in a Volvo. A Rambo in a Bando. Wait, listen, I said I had a shotty in a Golf and an 8 in a Volvo. A Shetty by the telly, Rambo in a Bando. Butterfly wear a hand coats. 380 in my jeans that will leave your whole fam ghosts and little 22s that leave holes in a lamppost. Listen, I said, most of the scene know me as a proper blessed and chill guy, but don't forget that I've been jailed for pocket checks in real life.
Time. Just too strong, man. Just too strong. Getting similar levels of reactions, but just that little bit. Ah, man, it's the intangible, man. Hulk stuff is just hitting more.
Yo, catch me doing a wheelie in a Land Rover. While
That moment is why Kingslee's a star, because he's doing just minimal amounts, getting the maximum amount of reaction. He's so good at that. Just that. Who, me? Like,
time.
Great.
Yo, catch me doing a wheelie in a Land Rover while I simultaneously swerve the Merc Next to me, you're such a fucking worm, it hurt. Observe this nerd. I once seen him rock up to a steakhouse in swim shorts and footy boots because he heard he do surf and turf. And if I was built like you, I would never be brave. One jab to the stomach and your tits would do a Mexican wave. Yo, in every single restaurant, I am safe with the waiter. Reading the... I said in every single... In every single restaurant, I am safe with the waiter. Reading the news on a treadmill. I'm chasing the paper.
Fuck's sake.
Use...
Bargard.
I said in every single restaurant, I am...
Safe with the waiter.
Reading the news on the treadmill, I'm...
Chasing the paper.
Usually he wouldn't say he's a hater, but he reckons he's seen some shady behaviour from his Arabian neighbour. This is him. Yo, man's the rawest brethren. Catch me looking dapper for a wedding just to slap your daughter's head in. Lad, you're 47. I say you're plain wrong, getting a fucked up propeller. I've seen your podcast and it's evident you must love the Stella.
That's the... Look at that face from Hulk. That's as close as you'll get to a reaction from him. And he's... I wouldn't say he's fighting for his life, but that's the sort of person that's checking the safety restraints before he fights for his life. Like, he's not that far away, but he's holding on.
Shut up forever. I mean, yeah, you sing songs and you rap on the channels, but it's still long like the mannequin challenge. But apparently he used to be good back when he had to bloody try. But I've watched your old battles. That's a fucking lie. Now I'm gonna have to box this liar. Fuck off back to Watfordshire. And don't forget to take your dusty little channel. We'll shit talk you, then it's all love if you'll just be on the panel. But why the fuck do you ever think we trust the shit you babble when you've never been the guy that we could trust to win a battle?
I gave that round to Kingslee. I thought it was his strongest round, all things considered. But Hulk with a flip of
this guy don't spit any bars.
Magnificent proportions.
I guess telling jokes is all he knows. Done a wheelie in a Range Rover.
Yes.
Because his mum was in the back and she's 40 stone.
And she's 40 stone. Yeah.
Yo. I said the weather's about to change. You think I forgot? Course not. Force what? I control the thunder like a Norse god. My dream cast visions. I could never be humble. Little Afro thunder, so now you're ready to rumble. Bro. So fuck a Kingslee. The king's me. They hear his shit and ask where the lyrics gone. They knew I'd flame him when they made the arrangements. What I'm sitting on is a ticking bomb. I asked every scouser I know. None of them know what clique he's from. None of them know his face, his mates, or the name of the estate that he's living on. Every time you rap, you do a disservice to every scouser that spits. And even though he's from out of the bits, that still includes Calcium Kid. Because your region created greats in my era. Now none of your brothers could try and apply pressure. I write better, combine setups that rhyme clever. So just remember, my brother, before they call time, I could get to the end of my tether.
Let's go. Time to perfection. And even though that, again, great round, and I can see the argument for maybe giving that one to Hulk to a certain degree. Again, when I'm judging, I do judge over the course of the entire battle. Like, do I feel like he got enough to get around? And I feel like undoubtedly Kingslee did, because it was a classic Kingslee performance. He didn't really do anything wrong. It's just that he just didn't have enough on the day. So. But there you go. 2-1 to Hulk. Hulk with a surprisingly strong performance given the manner with which Kingslee can control and win over crowds. Felt it was marginally Hulk's battle, but could be forgiven for giving it to Kingslee for the manner with which he broke the audience more than anyone else in the tournament so far. And I stand by that. Like, he gave a fantastic performance, generally speaking. It's just that on the day, Hulk was just that little bit better. And yeah, so I think... Again, it was interesting how they stacked the battles in this. I think they built to a crescendo this episode rather than maybe the middle battle just sort of took up a lot of the airtime because of Briggs' involvement with other segments. But still a good episode. And I think maybe the strongest in terms of overall battles so far. Maybe you could make the argument in the first episode, the first two battles maybe didn't deliver on the same level. 2 did. Last one, obviously Briggsy choked, so it was a comprehensive victory from Dojo, and then you had two battles either side that were good, I would say. But yeah, man, a great episode. I don't really have too much else to add other than to say that, like I say, I thought the editing between the second and third battle was a bit off. There was an interview segment with Pagan. I think that they cut Trubbs's narration, which was was odd. And that's about it, really. I don't think I have anything else to offer. There's no comments in the chat, so I'm presuming everyone's in agreement with me for once, so that's fantastic stuff. So I think we'll wrap it there. So that was episode 3 of Premier Battles Where Winning Matters. That was all 6 battlers and all 3 battles covered. They are back next week, 8 o'clock on the Sunday, with battles from Quicksilver versus Bert Broadbent, Beyond versus Seven Wave, Jim Bob Gnarly versus Enigma the Prophet. That one's going to be... I think a lot of people are going to... This is just my opinion. I don't share it. I think people are going to be down on this episode because they're going to think, oh, man, there's no one on there that I'm really super excited about. Right. Quicksilver's got a lot of promise, and he had a round that I would show to anyone as an exhibition of how you fucking destroy an opponent. Bert Broadbent is an esteemed comedian, so I'm interested to see what he can do, because I've seen maybe 1 or 2 of his battles, and again... hasn't really honed in on a style yet. I'm interested to see if he's come at this from a different way this time round. Maybe he's going to connect with me a bit more. Beyond, I haven't seen much of except for his tryout battle, and I thought he did well, but again, needs to start stepping up. Seven Wave is the wild card for me in this episode. I think he's going to get a lot of love after people see what he can do, because on beat, guy's great. Jim Bob Gnarly, fairly tenured. I hope he brings us something. Again, he can have his moments, but he can have his wobbles. And against someone like Enigma the Prophet, who I thought, again, strong, has promise, has weaknesses too. Playful, not... But again, lacking that real distinction. So I'm hoping that... Basically, this episode is... Can all of these guys define themselves going forward? Yes or no? How are they setting out their stalls for the rest of the tournament? And is it going to get over with people? And I look forward to seeing that. So 8 o'clock, Sunday, Premier Battles, episode 4 of the Where Winning Matters tournament. I should be in the comment section. And then we should be back on Monday at 9 o'clock to recap and review the show. And I hope you'll join me for it. So listen, thanks very much for joining me on this episode of the Halcyon Show. My name's Lorne. I host the show, in case you didn't know. Bars. Like, share, and subscribe, all that good jazz. Go follow me on Twitter for the posts leading up to this. And also, one other quick thing, if you'd be so kind to do so. If you want to see anyone on the show, hassle them. Let them know. I'd like you to let you interview... How the fuck? It's been a long day. I'd like you to go on Lorne's show so that you can talk battle rap with Lorne. I can ask as much as I want, but fans letting people know that they want to be seen is going to be infinitely more persuasive to these guys, because it lets them know that there's an audience. So please let them know. Otherwise, the only thing I wanted to mention is Trubs is doing a wrap-up after the show's finish on Premier Battles, I believe. So make sure you stick around after the Premier Battles show wraps on Sunday to watch that. Cammy is doing a wrap-up show as well, which airs, I think, on the Monday afterwards before our show. But it's much shorter, much more succinct. So if you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to catch up with what's happened, and you want to maybe signpost yourself to catch the show, but bits of it, watch Cammy's show. Potentially Hulk is... I need to find his channel and check to see what he's uploaded, so I can catch up with that. And then tune in for ours at 9 o'clock on Monday. Me and Crash will be back. Maybe we'll have some battlers on. Maybe we won't. You'll have to tune in and we'll see. But before you do any of that, thanks a lot for joining me today. And thanks a lot for joining us yesterday if you did. I hope you enjoyed both episodes. If you didn't, leave me a comment. Let me know what we can do better. Let me know how we can engage better, present better, all this good jazz. Always looking to improve. Always looking to try and deliver what you guys are wanting to see. But before you do that, I sincerely hope you're taking very good care of yourself. I hope you're looking forward to the next episode of Premier Battles Where Winning Matters episode 4 like I am. And hopefully, all being well, I'll see you on the next episode of The Halcyon Show.